For me, I can't thank them enough. My little sister, and everyone that I forgot. Thank you so much.
Great job, Lorenzo Lucrucio with the win in the 450B class. We are underway racing west, and we'll toss it back up to Rodney Reynolds and Jason Wygant.
Rodney Reynolds. Got the mustache looking good. Bell helmet, hole shot at number 28 here. Marshall Welton out of Michigan. He's got it. This is an open pro sport class, definitely one to watch. We've already got some passes being made. Got the 32 making the move here.
The 32 is Ika Hughes from Porterville, California on the 2 times promotions Answer Pro Taper SMX scooters back Yamaha.
All right, so he's taking the lead from your whole shot rider, Marshall Welton. Give us some of the names that we're going to be watching here in Open Pro Sport, Rodney.
Well, we'll be looking for riders like the number 3, Nick Farrell from Townsend, Delaware. The number 7, John Murray Barr out of Glen Allen, Mississippi. We got the number 12, Tyler McSwain from Shelby, North Carolina. All top names in this Open Pro Sport class. Aaron Lampy out of Fishkill, New York. The number 13, the 14, Shay Thomas out of Kingsley, PA. The 18, David McFarlane out of Pinellas Park, Florida. The 19, Mike Dockery out of Jamestown, North Carolina. 21, Bryson Taylor out of Cholula, Florida. Also 22, RJ Hampshire out of Hudson, Florida.
And Hampshire already into the lead. He made a move there as they were headed into Storyland and past those GoPro 10 Commandments. So Hampshire on the 22 Honda, a lot of hype around him with that AMSOIL factory connection rod. Going pro as soon as this event is over and taking off. Give us some of the other names out here, Rodney.
Looking at the 25, Thomas Galuzzi. We're looking at 26, Brandon Peterson. Also the 27, Corey Pennington. 28 will be Marshall Welton, who got the whole shot. The 30 of Derek Kemp. 32 of Ikua Hughes. The 33, Bryce Harkey. 34 is DJ Ellis. 38, Connor Green. 41, Dylan Walker. 42, Justin Jones. 45, Colton Nichols. 47, John Short. 51, Josh Cartwright. 57, Darian Sinai. The 59, Michael McDade. 64, Keith Tucker. 67, Cody McCulloch. 70, Jason McConnell. 72, Cody Van Buskirk. 73, Aaron Plessinger. 74, Daniel Rucker. 75, Brock Orley. 76, Cody Williams. Also 77, Tyler McGough. 78, Franklin Norgea. 80 is Cole Robbins. 81, Cameron McAdoo. 84 is Joshua Liston. 85 is Jerry Robin. 92, Carlos Badalia. 95, Blair Miller, and the 96, Axel Hodges, who made the name for himself, I think, only 2-3 years ago in the C class. Now here in the Open Pro Sport classes, we've seen them all grow as Hampshire continues to hold down point here, Jason, aboard that number 22 machine. A lot of big names in this one, and one that was really dominating in this Open Pro Sport class last year. Talking about AP, Aaron Plessinger. We're not seeing a lot out of him just yet.
Must have been the bad gate pick again for Plessinger. And we'll see how far up in the order he can go. 4th at the end of lap number 1. Hampshire in the lead, already starting to get away. We got this battle going on. Welton had gotten the whole shot there on that number 28, but Plessinger, here he is. He's gone from 4th to 2nd now. There is Plessinger on the 74.
Well, with Plessinger, he's got Tucker ahead of him. We've seen Tucker running a lot of the AMSOIL Arena Cross Series this past season, doing quite a great job of that. And a relative who's who. This is the one that I think a lot of people are excited to watch and come see down here, the Open Pro Sport, because like you said, with RJ Hampshire, this is one of his last event. I'm sure Keith Tucker, some of his last events. Aaron Plessinger in the same boat there. These guys all ready to make that big next step up.
So Plessinger in 2nd. We're going to keep an eye on the lap times and see if he can catch Hampshire. It's a 154 for Hampshire, and Plessinger a 154 also. About a half second quicker, though, is Plessinger on the 73. So Plessinger closing in just a little bit. Gap's already 4 seconds because Hampshire got the drop on everyone, taking the lead in the first lap. We're going to keep watching, though, this Star Racing Yamaha. Plessinger on the 73. Fastest rider on the track, 2nd place. A little bit quicker than your leader.
Only a half second faster, but 4.2 seconds back. But again, he was working his way through some lap traffic. This is going to be a riding clinic, I think, put on by Aaron Plessinger right here, right now, as he goes through the Cometic corner now, heading toward the GoPro 10 Commandments. And Plessinger's going to be a lot of fun to watch ride. And I'm sure that Hampshire realizes who's back there, and you know that he's got the hammer down right now. 154.5 lap time. He's turning some fast lap times. A 154.064 in the traffic, trying to make passes passes. Plessinger in second. Marshall Welton, who got the whole shot, holding on for third. Colton Nichols moving up now into the number 4 spot, a 156.889 in the traffic. He's in out there. Welton, the 158.3. There were 2 seconds separating those guys, so you know a good battle going on for third right now as Ikua Hughes rounds out the top 5. But here comes Tyler McSwain from back of the number 6 spot. Keep an eye out for the number 12 as well. I think we're going to see some great running there. Franklin Norgea back in 7th. There's Keith Tucker all the way back in 8th. This is the place to watch Keith Tucker run from as well, because this guy, when he starts behind the 8 ball, seems to go so much faster than under normal circumstances. And he's behind the 8 ball, and you know he's got the hammer down right now as well. So it'll be fun to watch him work his way up through as we continue to watch Plessinger now. As we said, 4.2 seconds as they came by the finish line a lap ago, separated he and Hampshire. Now we'll see what the case may be.
All right, yeah, we're going to get another read of the lap times here. Plessinger coming through.
154.687 for Hampshire as he goes through. Whoa, Plessinger actually slowed down. He lost time about a half second, a little more than a half second, so it goes from a 4.2 second to a 4.6 second gap now between Hampshire and Plessinger. So maybe Hampshire's got his A game on out there. He knew what he had to be working against whenever the gate dropped out there, so he came ready.
Well, Plessinger, though, really tall, even when he sticks his leg out in those corners, despite the 4.5 second lead. I think Hampshire's able to actually see that. He's still within 1 leg's length of the lead. No, I'm just kidding. It's not nearly that long as he's into the Cometic corner, and now the GoPro 10 Commandments. He really can't see Hampshire just getting through that corner before he gets there. We go a little bit further back. Got Colt Nichols out of Oklahoma making moves, getting around Welton.
Yep, well, he gets around Welton. McSwain should be coming on pretty strong as well here soon. Well, actually, no, there was 13 seconds all the way back to McSwain. He's gotten into number 5 ride, so something's really separated 4th to 5th now, and McSwain has got a little bit of free track ahead of him. He turned a 2:03. Everyone else, 155, 157, and Hampshire a 154 in the top 5, except for McSwain. He was at a 2:03. So now that he's got a little bit of clear racetrack, might see something a little different. But here comes the battle between Welton and Nichols still, and looks like Welton more than his work cut out for him after that whole shot, and might have surprised himself a little bit out there, you know.
Nichols has been at this game for a little while. I think a lot of people figured, maybe he too, thought they might turn pro. Last year, there's some rumors of racing Supercross. I know he did a lot of arena cross with the AMSOIL Arena Cross Series. Instead, now he's back here at the ranch, and I know the Monster Energy Team Green folks believe he can run with anybody. Didn't quite get the start that Hampshire or Plessinger did, but a good job here getting up to number 3 spot. You're watching him on the 45 Kawasaki. Welton back here on the factory Metalworks back machine is in 4th, and McSwain, who you're talking about, is 5th. So let's see the lap times on Nichols. 156, not quite the pace of Hampshire and Plessinger. And by the way, Hampshire again laying it down, adding more distance between himself and AP.
Not much different than his fastest lap. That one was a 154.137 as opposed to the .064. So you can see we're splitting hairs. He's running nearly identical lap times out there. You can't get much more identical than that. Plessinger at the 155.172. Colton Nichols a 156.548 in third. Marshall Welton a 158.687. Uh-oh, change back there for the number 5 spot as McSwain and McCullough switches things around. Now it's 18 seconds back to 5th, but McCullough now holds on to the number 5 spot as McSwain drops to the number 6 position. 7th place is Ikua Hughes. David McFarlane now is 8th. Frank Noriega is 9th. Carlos Bandalia is 10th. Josh Cartwright. Wow, there's another one that didn't get off to the greatest of starts right there. Josh Cartwright in that number 11 spot. Bryson Taylor is your 6th place position, or excuse me, is your 12th place position. Darian Sinai is in 13th and 14th. Cameron McAdoo 15th. Justin Jones, Blair Miller in 16th. Axel Hodges 17th. Mike McDade is 18th. Connor Greed in 19th, and Cody Van Buskirk rounds out your top 20. There's Dylan Walker all the way back at 21st place. So a lot of names that we kind of expect to see closer, if not into the top 10 right now, or even top 5, are still struggling to get through the top 20, and teams right now to even break into a top 10, it looks like.
Kevin Kelly back up in here in the tower. Yeah, I turned his on, but not mine. Back here in the tower with us. Now, you've hit most of the amateur nationals this year all around the country, the different events from Mammoth, and I know you're at Ponca. We can go talk about what you're seeing here with your we knew Hampshire would be fast coming in. Plessinger, have you been able to see them face off much? or is this one of the rare showdowns?
Yeah, that was what I was going to mention. Like, I haven't seen everybody at one event, and that's why this event, of course, is so unique. No, I think RJ's been hurt for a while. Aaron's been healthy for the last 3/4 of the year. And Colton Nichols just was in Puerto Rico beating Tyler Bowers and Nick Way, so Ryan Holiday was super high on him. He had him picked as your winner here. So, no, not everybody's been swirling around all over the place getting healthy. And it's funny, they're all healthy at one race. It's going to be good.
Yeah, they got to get a feel for each other right now. Plessinger threw down a fast lap on lap 2. That was actually the best lap time of the Moto, but since then he hasn't been able to find that 154 lap again, and Hampshire's getting away. 6.5 second lead for RJ Hampshire out of Florida. Notice a lot of work with Tim Ferry, Plessinger working with Matt Walker. So you're not anybody in this A-class unless you're working with some sort of ex-pro.
He better have at least one championship to his credit in some capacity, or you're behind the 8 ball. And yeah, you're right. Nobody's been at the same race at any given moment. I would have put my money on Plessinger just because he's been healthy the longest. Everybody else, they've been nursing something. And then you got a guy like coming up later on, Jordan Smith, who's nursing a massive ankle injury that he tweeted just the other day. It was swollen up, barely could walk. You got Benny Bloss, who's on crutches. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, he was on the podium
on
with
his crutches. They had to pull that boot off and almost had to cut it off because he had the big cut gash that he was playing in the river, I believe. Cut his leg like an 8-inch gash. And not pretty. What a soldier.
Impressive that he was able to race at all. When we heard about this yesterday, we're like, oh, that guy that did that, there's no way he'll be able to go. And literally went.
He went and he led it.
Led and got up on the podium. So well done.
On his crutches.
On your screen here, you're watching a little battle between the David McFarland and the 18 Honda, and the 12 is Tyler McSwain. So they have hooked up. That is 6th and 7th. Best battle on the racetrack right now. And then you got Franklin Nogueras right behind them there in the 78 Suzuki. We're into the Sand Wash. And it's the 18 of McFarland.
Josh,
trying to hold off 12 of McSwain. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say Josh Cartwright stuck back there in the number 12 spot. I've been watching him. I remember late last year, I think at the Winter Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, that he was one of the fast guns out there making his way up through the ranks. So we kind of expect to see some big flashes of brilliance out of him this year at Loretta Lynn's also. Again, trying to work his way up through this very talented pack of riders. And through this rough and rugged, look at this, here we go. McSwain is firing back, it looks like, on McFarland for that number 6 ride.
And Nogueras going through on the 78, making the move. So that'll put him up into the 7th place spot, pushing McSwain back. Look at McSwain trying to come back through the billboard turn. Oh, Nogueras able to make it stick. So now Nogueras wants to go after McFarland. And another rider in this group, Darian Sinai, who I believe had the fastest lap times of anyone in this class yesterday in practice. We had him on 20th place on lap 1. Must have been that bad gate pick. I know I've been saying it a lot. I'd say it's a broken record. I've said it so many times, but we're at an amateur race and these kids are too young to even know what the term broken record even means. It means that I'm repeating myself a lot. But Sinai, probably another victim of the bad gate pick, into the 10 Commandments, making moves. He's on the Kawasaki right there, the 57. He's picked off 1. He got the 78 of Nogueras. Now can he get McSwain, who's on the number 12? Watch out. You think Sinai's got a shot at top 5 before this one's over?
Well, the way he's riding right now, I wouldn't put it past him. I know the biggest obstacle he's going to have is about 8.5 seconds between 6th and 5th. I know I can say that I expect him as far as 6th, and we'll see what kind of time he can make up. We are running short on time. That is lap 7. We had 10 laps for the 450B limited with that just a few moments ago, so I expect 10 or 11 laps here as well.
Makes the move on McSwain. So he got Nogueras and McSwain in 1/2 of a lap. So Sinai showing that speed that he had yesterday, bringing it to the actual race day, and that will put him into 7th. But you know he's not going to be happy about that. Monster Energy Team Green rider, he'd like to pass the 18 Honda of David McFarland, and we're into the beach, and he's going to try to make this happen, Rodney.
Wow, he is trying to make it happen just like you said, as quickly as possible, not waiting around for the next lap or trying to set him up someplace else. Look at that, railing it on the outside, pulling up side by side, sets himself up for the inside of the final turn before the push to the finish line there, and is able to make the pass, and a beautiful pass at that.
3 passes in the course of 1 lap.
Wow.
He was in 9th when they came through a lap ago. He is now in 6th. He picked off McSwain, Nogueras, and McFarland.
Now here's where the obstacles come in. 11 seconds now separating he and Cody McCulloch, the 67, who is running in the number 5 spot. Both riders turning in the 2:01 range. It wouldn't surprise me to see Sinai turn this up another 3 or 4 seconds if McCulloch does not do the same. And Sinai is able to get down into the 154, 155, 56 range. 2 more laps in this race. We might see that battle for 5th place shape up a little quicker than what I even anticipated.
Well, Sinai needs it to, man. He's got to at least try to get top 5 to stay in title contention. It would be tough to get a title with a 6th in Moto 1. I mean, the speed hasn't been the issue, just the bad start. So he's got a lot of work to do. Hampshire's lead is now 8.5 seconds over Plessinger. And again, I have to go back to some of the factors you see in these first motos. As far as our pump, as we go back to our leader, Hampshire here on the factory connection Honda. Well, you can see why he's got a lead. He just destroyed that corner as they go toward the billboards. He is on the move, and now dealing with lap traffic, I don't think that's going to be a problem when you have a 9.5 second lead as it is now. He can take his time through some of these riders.
So 8 laps down for Hampshire, Plessinger, and Nichols. The gap now 9.4 seconds between first and second. Another 7.2 back to the number 3 position as Marshall Welton, who grabbed the whole shot in this one, looked like they were trying to pick on him there a little bit early on, is still holding steadily in 4th, about 12 seconds behind Nichols, but a good solid 4th. Another 24 seconds back, 24 and a half as a matter of fact, is Cody McCulloch. And it's amazing to me the big gaps that we're seeing like that, 25 and 20 to 30 second gaps even for some of the winners earlier this morning. But in that 5th or 4th to 5th place, 24 seconds now is what it is, because it's changed, because Welton now still holding on to 4th. May see, well, he won't see the pressure coming in from him, but he will see the lap times about a second faster. Cody McCulloch now 2:01.809, and that might have been his saving grace. Someone must have given him the pit board over in the mechanics area, the Yamaha mechanics area, because McCulloch picked it up just enough there. Sinai dropping his time to a 2:02 instead of moving it up to the 156, which we kind of anticipated could be the case once he got through all that traffic. Not the case though, so Sinai still back 11.2 seconds back in 6th, and he might be done there, but that's still a lot to be commended on there. And I know you said the likelihood of winning the overall with the 6th place position finish in this first moto are very slim, but the great thing about this, 3 motos, and anything can always happen, and it's not saying that no one has never done it, we just say the likelihood is a little more difficult.
Well, especially when you have to deal with Hampshire, who's on his game. Now, RJ has never won a title here at the ranch. It's really pretty recent, him coming on at the elite level. I'd say probably about the last year and a half or 2 when he really started to come into his own and make a name for himself. And then picking up this factory connection ride, like everyone else who's had it in the past, always seems to take you to another level.
You know, that's the exciting thing about this for a lot of these riders. These somewhat mediocre to better, wouldn't want to say mediocre, but mid-pack to upper mid-pack riders. They get that something happens out there and something clicks and somebody recognizes their importance and their abilities and talents, and they say if we give them that little extra edge, then they might be able to excel. And that's exactly the kind of things that we're having. Those riders that are great, but with just a little bit more support and backing can be even greater.
Hampshire, solid lead right now. Yeah, 2 lap board, so a lap and a half to go. Now, Hampshire's sister, Marissa, actually did win a title here back about 11 years ago in the women's class. So the family's certainly familiar with how this works down here. And being from Florida, I'm sure they've been surrounded by plenty of fast riders. As you mentioned, RJ does work with Tim Ferry, and all the lessons paying off here. He would love to get 1 or even 2 titles here in his last go-around at the ranch. Had some bad luck last year with injuries. Never really got to show what he had. But this year could be the year for the number 22. But I don't want to talk too much. It's only the first moto, and we've seen crazy things happen. But Hampshire, no doubt about it, has everyone covered in this first moto. There he is on the 22.
So as Hampshire makes his way around, we'll see a white flag out this time. The field looks like this, with just a couple or now 1 to go for your leader. Hampshire, Plessinger, Nichols, Welton, and McCulloch. McCulloch 26.4 seconds back in 5th. But a great ride for him. And Darian Sinai, who worked his way up into position, now about 9 seconds out of the 5th place position. I would say that he probably spent himself with that big push that he had. David McFarland in 7th aboard the number 18. In 8th, the 92 Carlos Bandalia. In 9th is Tyler McSwain, the number 12. John Short, the 47, rounds out the top 10. Franklin Norgea is the 78 in 11th. Bryson Taylor in 12th. He's on the 21, the 59. Mike McDade, wow, he's up to 13th now. He was running back in 18th and 19th the last check. 14th, IQ Hughes. In 15th, the 81 Suzuki of Cameron McAdoo. 16th, Justin Jones, the number 42. Jerry Robin, the number 85, running in 17th. You might remember Jerry from, I believe it was last year, came on the 1985 Honda. He actually, did he win a championship on that bike? I think if he didn't, he came awfully close.
He won one on a slightly newer bike.
Yeah, but he was
he was still old.
Good contender in that one. Josh Cartwright now dropping back to 18th. Axel Hodges, whom we've seen in novice class stardom there a couple of years ago, the 96, now in 19th place. Blair Miller rounds out your top 20 aboard the number 95, and that was with a lap to go for those guys. And now Hampshire coming around on this final lap through that big Rocky Mountain ATVM.com sand wash sweeper area. It looks like I understand the sand wash. It looks like a washboard is what it looks like. This is some of the deepest sand, some of the deepest ruts, some of the deepest acceleration and deceleration bumps I've ever seen on this track, even at Loretta Lynn's. I mean, I would say this is pro national caliber racetrack the way it's looking. I've seen some of those tracks get that bad, but never even Loretta Lynn's get this bad.
No, especially considering it's the very first day of racing. Hampshire backed by AMSOIL.
And I don't mean bad as in a bad way. I mean challenging as in having a very distinct race face is what I mean by bad.
These riders like it that way. That'll separate the boys from the boys, I guess, considering they're all pretty young in this class. Checkered flag is out. Hampshire had that one by about lap 4 on. He was in complete control, but he was so darn fast. He logged 11 laps. We rarely get those kind of laps in at the ranch, but they're lowering the lap times big time. Plessinger will finish up second. You saw him roll through on the number 73 Yamaha. Colton Nichols third. You saw his charge through on the number 45. Marshall Welton, who had the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award and $100 for it, will hold on for 4th, or we think so. Hasn't come across yet. See a couple other riders battling, and you hear that all the time here at Loretta's as Welton does take that number 4 spot. But you hear it all the time down here. There are battles throughout, and for some of the riders whose goal was just qualify, this is maybe the elite level that they'll get to. They're not planning on embarking on professional careers. Even a fight for 30th is a big deal to them.
It most definitely is. The Hampshire, Plessinger, Nichols, top 3. Welton in 4th, looking for McCullough to check in anytime in the number 5 ride. Sinai, McFarland, Bandalia in 8th, McSwain in 9th, and John Short rounding out the top 10. And we head down to the podium where I believe Kevin Kelly stands by with our top finishers here in the Open Pro Sport Moto.
All right, thanks a lot, Rodney Tomlin. Wes Kane down here on the podium. Our Bell Helmets $100 Whole Shot Award going to number 28. Come on up here. Marshall Whitland, come on up here. Rider number 28, Kevin Kelly, wrangle him up here. Here he is. Come on, guys, put your hands together. Bell Helmets $100 Whole Shot Award. Marshall Whitland, great job. All right. Good job out there. Tell us about your start.
I started first gate on the inside, and I got the jump. I looked to my side, and no one was next to me. So, good start, I guess.
Tell us who you want to thank.
First of all, my dad, and Colin Max, alias Scott, but can't really do it without my dad and family. This first year in A class, trying to get some experience for next year, and finished off with a solid 4th, I thought.
Congratulations out there. Great whole shot. All right, coming up here, finishing 3rd, Colton Nichols. The 45 of Colton Nichols. Great job. Congratulations out there. Tell me about your ride.
Yeah, it was all right. I got a little squirrely on the start, but still came out okay. Then I was out there trying to put it down, and Plessinger got around me really quick. I made a mistake, and then man, after that, I was just kind of struggling around with arm pump. I kind of rode around out there and just kind of cruised. So hopefully next time we can get up there and push a little bit. We're going to go make some changes to the bike and then come back up for the next moto and hopefully be strong.
Who do you want to thank?
Everyone at Kawasaki Team Green, all the dudes over there. Babbitts for letting me pit out of their semi. Thor, Alpine Stars, Passion MX down in Costa Rica. I'm out here just trying to prove my worth and get a ride for next year. So out here just having a good time, trying to mix up with all these kids.
Congratulations out there. Let's hear it for Colton Nichols. Now finishing second to 73. Come on up here, Aaron Plessinger. Let's put the hardware on you, put some bling to you. Great job out there. Tell us about your ride.
Yeah, I got off to a great start, and I was in top 5 and got in behind RJ, past Colt, and I just rode my own race. RJ's riding awesome. Props to him, props to his Moto win, and yeah, I just I'd like to thank the whole Yamaha Blue Crew team, Star Racing, Rockstar, Yamalube, GYTR, Smith Optics, MSR, Enzo Suspension, Garnet Boots, Bell Helmets, FMF, Dunlop, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Congratulations out there, Aaron Plessinger. We'll see you in the next one. All right, Moto winner, come on up here, RJ Hampshire. Congratulations out there. Let's get behind your bike so we can get you in the shot. There you go. All right, guys. RJ, tell me about that ride.
Well, I picked 41st gate pick and all the way outside. You know, my team's back there pumping me up. I got a great start, or a great jump, and just held her pin all around the outside. Ended up coming out like third and was ending up in the lead first lap. You know, I was pumped and drove my own race, rode smart and smooth. And, you know, my AMSOIL Factory Connection Honda team, you know, they worked their butt off for me, and I worked my butt off for them. So, you know, I'm happy to be up here for them.
Tell me about the track out there. Not hot, steamy conditions, a little cool. Tell me about it.
Oh, you know, the track's great. It's rough. Separates a lot of riders, and, you know, I feel like I'm ready for it. You know, I've been getting ready for the outdoors. So, you know, I'm here, and I'm happy, and I'm healthy, so that's the main thing. Congratulations out there. Put your hands together, guys. RJ Hampshire takes a gold medal and a Moto win. Rodney Tomlin, Jason Wygant, up to you in the announce deck.